All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. As usual, it is Friday. We all know what that means. It is, say it with me, Octane Friday, and it is going to be a good one. At least I think so. Maybe not all of you, but I guess I'll find out, won't I? We are going back. Oh, by the way, before I get started, hope you all enjoyed a little bit of Death Cab for Cutie yesterday. Some of you had not listened to their music before and started getting into it. Love it. Love it. Anyway, what are we talking about today? We are going back 27 years, February 1st, 1994. This band released their third album, which would change their lives forever. We're talking about the Bay Area band Green Day. How about that? Green Day put out their third record, Dookie. What a name for a record, right? All right, so let's talk about it. Green Day, like I said, from the Bay Area. They had put out, they were a punk band. They put out 1990. They put out a record called 39 Smooth, and then in 91 they put out a record called Kerplunk, which got a lot of traction in the punk scene. They were on the gold standard for punk labels, Lookout Records. I mean, there was nothing to achieve higher in punk, to be booking your own shows and being on Lookout Records if you were a punk band at that time. I mean, that was the pinnacle, right? So with this Kerplunk, though, the major labels started to come a-knocking, and they started checking them out. Now, there was one particular producer that got their attention because he was responsible for working with the band The Muffs, who they admired. So this guy worked for Reprise Records, and they ended up making a deal and signing with them. Now, this was a little bit of a problem, as you can imagine, for the punk scene. All the punk people, of course, said Green Day had sold out. Now, this is a phenomenon that happens. I mean, I kind of get it, but I get it only in that if the music that they make is totally different than what you're used to hearing, and then it goes mainstream, and then you feel like they sold out a little bit. But for a band to sign to a major label and then put out some really, really good records, I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of Queensryche, and I'll use that as an example. And then when they put out Empire, there was a little bit of backlash on that one because everyone thought that Silent Lucidity was Pink Floyd. But anyway, I wasn't angry. I just treated it as a different record. It was good. So anyway, so they're called Sellouts. There was a particular club that they used to play, and when they played their what would be their last gig there, the word had gotten out. They had signed to Warner Brothers Reprise Records, and they didn't show up for the show. It was very few people at this show. But who got the last laugh, right? I don't know. I mean, I do know. So they put this record out. They recorded it in like 3 weeks. They've been playing a lot of these songs live already. They wanted to get the live sound in the studio, so they weren't really doing too many mixes and stuff like that. So they put this record out, and it wasn't like they put it out and then suddenly, bam, they were huge. That's not the case. They only sold like 9,000 copies of this record the first week. It didn't get traction until summer of '94, and that's when things really started picking up for them. And then it really took off. When I was working at Music Outlet, we couldn't hold on to enough Green Day stuff that summer and fall. I myself was not into Green Day. I just didn't understand the attraction at that time. I was listening to a lot of great music then, a lot of heavy music. I was even listening to some Bad Religion there. We haven't talked about them in Song of the Day yet. But I didn't understand the Green Day thing until maybe later, maybe not till fall or so, or maybe even that winter, when I saw the videos for one of the songs and kind of got into it. But we'll talk about that in a second. But they were huge. This album was huge. The critics loved it. It was a worldwide success. It went to number 2 in the United States. It sold 20 million copies, more than 20 million copies, which puts it in that higher echelon of top-selling albums of all time. It won the Grammy for Best Alternative Album in 1995. I mean, there were 5 singles off this record. I mean, this was just a huge record, and I did eventually come around and and become a big fan of Green Day. So the songs we have to choose from, really 5 of them. Like I said, there's probably others on there that you guys like, but we won't talk about them all if you're a big fan. But you got Longview, Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, She, and When I Come Around. I mean, those are your biggest ones off this record. I mean, those are all pretty epic songs. It wasn't until I saw the video for Longview, for some reason the video is what really did it for me. You know, that's the thing about MTV back in the day, when you would see the video of a song, sometimes that's what made you love the song that much more, or when you heard it for the first time. So that's why music videos were so important versus just hearing a song on the radio per se. But the video for Longview, really good. You know where I'm going with this. So Green Day, they also put out a ton of good records after that. We'll get to those another time. My song of the day is indeed Longview. They don't even say Longview in the song. It's the name of a city in Washington where they first performed the song, apparently. But Longview is your song of the day. Love this song. You're gonna have to crank it up. Crank up some Green Day today if you're a fan. If you're not, try it anyway. See what happens. What's the worst that could happen? All right. 6.5 minutes. Octane Friday, another good one. Enjoy your day. Rolling into the weekend. Slow down Sunday this Sunday. You know the drill. You know what I'm gonna say. Have a great night. Have a great day. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.